Welcome all. This is exercise 1 in our journey in learning Microsoft Excel. I hope you will find this very useful for you. By the end of this exercise, you will be able to do the following tasks. First, you will be able to save a workbook, change the width of a column in a sheet, change the height of a row in a sheet, add a new row and column in a sheet. Then you will learn how to merge cells, apply a border to a range of cells, align the contents of cells horizontally and vertically, and last but not least, do a simple calculation using cell referencing and the sum function. So as you can see, you will learn a lot of skills in this exercise. So now it is the demonstration time, and see you there. Okay, let us start. First, I will show you the exercise. I just have it here. As you can see, this is Spreadsheet Exercise 1. The first task, it asks you to run the spreadsheet program in your computer. In this case, it is the Microsoft Excel. And it asks you to start typing the following. You will type this information. After that, it asks you here some task from 2, I believe, to 15. So this is our first exercise in learning this powerful application, which is the Excel. So let us start. Now let me just minimize this. So the first step is to run the Excel. As you can see, when you run the Excel, we end up with this home. So here you have two options. Either you click the blank workbook from here, or if you go to the new, you have a plenty of templates as we discussed in our introduction video. But we will start with a blank workbook. So you will click blank workbook, and the Excel start with this empty sheet. So in our introduction video, we explained that the sheet consists of columns and rows. So please, if you miss the introduction video, I highly advise you first to go to the introduction video and watch it, then you come back. If you watch it, you are welcome, and we can continue. So this is the first step. It asks us to run the application. Now our application is running and waiting for us to start typing the content. Now, to show you this, let me make this a little bit so that you can see. I will just make it, and let me just go to the exercise. I think I can put it like this, and yeah, I think this is clear now. So I will start typing the contents which is given to me in the exercise. Now, normally when you start typing, normally you start with the cell A1. So now this is the cell A1, and I will start typing whatever it asks me in the exercise. So you see, this is A and this is 1. I will start here. So in the exercise, in A1 cell, it asks me to type ID. So I will start from I will start typing ID. So ID. Then you can press the left arrow in your keyboard, or in the mouse click B. and I am now in cell B1, and I will write there name, and I will press the arrow key, the right arrow key, and I will start typing. So now I will just simply typing whatever in the exercise, and lab work 1, quiz 2, lab work 2, final, and the last word is total. Now I can by mouse bring and click A2, and I will start writing whatever in A2 as it is given to me in the exercise. So 87, then the name of the student Ahmed. So this data is about students and their marks, and I am just clicking the arrow key, and Ahmed he get in quiz 1 6, and lab work 1 12, 3 12, 20. Again I will go here. Now I will start the second row, 4 5 9. I hope I am not missing anything, and he get 8 10 7 15 and 25. Again by mouse I will click A4, and we will continue. 913, the name of the student is Saleh. He get 10 13 12 10 28. We will continue. We have now I think Khalid 571, Khalid 2 7 3 8 and 15, and then 6 8 1, Salim 9 14 7 13 27. Then we have Fahad 297, Fahad, and Fahad we have 1 6 4 7 10, and we almost finish. This is the last student. 8 3 5, Hamad 3 13 6 11 25. Excellent. So we have finished typing our data. You can click outside here. So this is the first step. We finish it. We run the application, the Excel, and we start typing the data as it asked me in the exercise. Now, gentlemen, as you can see, first of all, this data is, I think it's clear. It's about students, their IDs. This is just a sample. Their names, their marks in quiz 1, their marks in lab work 1, quiz 2, lab work 2, final, and it seems we have to calculate the total. We will see how. So this is, now I finish the content, and as you can see, if we compare the Excel with the Word, if you watch my videos about the Word, if you didn't, please, I highly advise you to watch the videos about the Word. Again, it is in the video channel. You can go and you can watch them to learn more. So As you can see, Excel is different than the Word. In the Word we have a document and you can start typing, you know, reports, this and that. But in Excel we have columns and rows and cells. So the nature of data normally we put on the Excel, it's more about calculations. Okay, and normally when you start typing, normally you start typing from A1. So now we are ready. Let me just to make it easy for you, I will a little bit this like that one, then I think we finish. So I will scroll, and now we are ready for task number 2, and I will make this a little bit large like this so that it is easy for you. Now task number 2, it asked me to save the workbook as a spreadsheet exercise 01, then your ID number. You will put your ID number here in your folder. So again, this is exactly as we did in the Word videos. So let us do this. We know now we can go to File, then Save As, and then Browse. And again, from here in the left hand side, this is the navigation. You choose the folder where you want your file to be saved. So let me choose Documents, and then you come here to the file name text box and you start typing the name. So it's giving me in the exercise, as you can see here. So I will start typing Spreadsheet exercise -01 dash, and then your ID. I think there is a mistake here, so I think and then exercise. Okay, so make sure that the file name is correct. Then now I am ready to click save. Once I click save, it will save the workbook in this file and it will keep it in this location, which is the document. So I will click that one. So as you can see now, it is from the title, it is saved, and this is the name, and now we are ready to move. Okay, number 3, make the width of all columns from A to H equal to 12. So as you can see here, the column, each column has a width. This is the width of a column, and for example, A, it's from here to here. B, it is from here to here. So you can change the width of the column. There are two ways you can change the width of a column. The manual way, you can come, for example, if I want to change the width of A, column A, I can come this line between A and B. As you can see, when the mouse become this, the pointer is to a row, I can click the mouse and keep it pressed, and then I can drag. Okay, and then when I release my mouse, you see it increase the width of column A. The same thing, for example, if I want to increase the column of C, I can come to this line between C and D. As you can see, my mouse pointer is changed. Now it is to a row, pointing to left and right. When it is the mouse is in this shape, you just click your mouse and you just hold it, and then you drag till the width that you want, then you release your mouse. So this is one way to change the width of a column. Also, you can change the height of a row. For example, if I want to change the height of row 3, you can you just point using your mouse between 3 and 4 till the mouse pointer is now to a row up and down. Then you click and hold down your mouse, then you drag, and as you can see now, the height of row 3 is increased and is changed. The same thing, for example, If I want to change the size or the height of row 6, again the same thing, I drag and it change the height. So these are the two ways. This is the first way you change the column width and the height of the row. But there is a more specific and more accurate way to change the column. As it asked me here, it wants me to change the width of all column from A to H to 12. So this is the measurement unit 12. So how do I make sure that the width of my columns from A to H, they are equal to 12? I have to use the following method. So first let me make undo so that I can click this one time, another time, so that my columns back again to their original status. Now since it asked me to change the column from A to H, I will start selecting. When I point to the column A, as you can see, the mouse pointer become a row down, and I hold my mouse and I drag till I reach H. So in other words, I want to select the columns. Now the columns from A to H, they are selected. Now why I select from A to H? Because it is the task here. It requires me to make the width of all columns from A to H. So it is because of this task, I just select from A to H. So again, let me do it again for you. I will click here. So if I want to select more than one column, you take your mouse till you reach the column name, which is A, then you click and drag your mouse till you reach the column that you want. Then you release your mouse. So all my columns now from A to H, they are selected. Now after that, you come here to format. Make sure that you are in the home tab, not in any other tabs, okay? Then in the format, we have an option here. It's called column width. So when you click that one, you will have a dialog box like this. It's called column width, and you type whatever given to you in the exercise. So here it asks me to make it 12. So I will just simply write now 12 and click OK. So now notice please what will happen to the column width from A to H when I click OK. So you see all of a sudden all the columns width from A to H, the width become 12. I hope this is clear. Then I will save to make sure it is okay. Now let us go to task number 4. Make the width of the first column A equal to 6. So this time it asked me to change the width of only one column, which is column A, to 6. In this case, again, I will click the column A, the letter A, to select the column. Then again, the same thing, I go to the format, then column width. This time I will erase 12 and I will put here 6 and I click here OK. So now it decreases the width and it becomes 6. So this is the way you change the width of a column. Now let us move, let us save. Yeah, and now let us continue. Now number 5, make the height of all rows equal to 22. So this means this time it asked me to change the height of the rows, not the width of the columns. So for all the rows, so this means from from row 1 up to the last row, which is 8. So again, I will do exactly as I did for the columns, but this time I will select the rows. So I bring my mouse here to row 1 and I click my mouse and I keep it pressed. Then I drag till I reach row 8. Then I release my mouse. So as you can see now, all the rows from 1 to 8, they are selected. Now I want to change the height. Again, the same thing. I will go to the format. This time I will not go to the column width, I will go to the row height. So when I click that one, again I have a dialog box here, it's called row height. Then I will remove this one and I will put I believe it's asked me 22, because here you see it's 22. Then you click OK. Excellent. So now, as you can see, if I click outside, the width of the columns, sorry, the height of the rows changed and it increased. So again, I will save. Excellent. Let me just now let's move. Now I think we are in 6. Okay, gentlemen. Now now it asks me to add a new row before the first row and make its height equal to 60. So this is very excellent task. So we will add a new row before the first row. So how do we add a row? Now he asked me here to add a row before row 1. So in this case, I will come to number 1 here, row number 1 with my mouse. Then I right click number 1, and then I click insert. So automatically it will insert a row at the top of the row that I click, which is in this case row number 1. So when I click insert, as you can see here, it inserts a new row. It's an empty, and now ask me, I think, to change the height of that row to 60, as you can see from here. So again, I will select that new row, I will click that one, and again, as we did, I will go format, row height, and this time I will type 60, and then I press OK or click OK. As you can see now, the first row, the height of the first row is 60. So I will click save, and let us continue. Now okay, we finished 6. Now number 7, it asked me to merge and center the first row from column A to H and type student marks. Okay, so what do we mean by merge? Merge and center the first row from A to H. Merge, what we mean by merge is to combine the cells. So it asked me here to merge the cell from A to H. So it asked me to combine these cells into a single large cell. As you can see, I have cell number 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want to combine all these cells into a single cell. We call this merging the cells. So how do we do this? Simply, you start clicking from cell A1 from here and drag. What I mean by drag, you click your mouse and keep it clicked, and then you drag your mouse till you reach H. So this is the first thing you have to do, is to select the cells that you want to merge. Again, I will do it for you. I will click outside again, because the exercise asked me to merge from A to H. I will start with the A, cell A1 from here, and I click, and then I drag and move till I reach H. After I release my mouse, then in the home tab, make sure that you are in the home, and in the alignment group here, we have this button. It's called merge and center. So when I click it, as you can see, it merge all the cell and make it one large cell. So this is called merging the cells. Then you can click here and you can start typing. I think here it asked me to type student marks. So I will start here typing student marks. I click outside. As you can see now, student marks, it's there. And this is what it asked me to do. Then of course I will click save. I hope merging the cell is very easy for you. Of course, again, you can merge vertically. For example, if I choose these, then I click merge, it will combine all these cells into a single cell. But in the exercise, it didn't ask me. So let us continue. Number 8, apply a border to the table. Here inside is a single line and outline is double line. Very strange. What does it mean? So let me show you here. As you can see, this is my table, and these lines that you can see, when you print this table in a printer, they will not show. So these are just on screen, you can see them on the screen, but if you print this workbook or this sheet, these lines, they will not appear. So if you want to make a border, and if you want the lines to separate the rows and the column, then you have to put a border. And the border, we have the outside border, which will be surrounding the whole table, and the inside border, which will be between the cells. So it asks me here to apply a border to the table. Inside, which is mean inside these lines, they will be a single line. And the outline he mean the outer border, which will surround the whole table. And the outline is a double line. So how do we do this? Very simple. First, since it asks me the whole table here, apply a border to the table. I will start from this big cell, and I will move with the mouse. I will select and I highlight, okay, and I release my mouse. Now again I can go to the format, then I will go to format cells. And by the way, this we will use this many times in our exercises. So remember, you select, again I will do it, select the table, you start from here, click here, and then drag your mouse, then you go to the format, and then format cell. When you click that one, you will have a dialog box here. There are many tabs. We will come across many of these inshallah in our next exercises and videos, but the one that I want now is this border. You click the border, and now you have here the different styles of border. So for example, this is the single line. I will click this one first. You click the style, then from here you choose this style. Is it for the outline or for the inside? Again, let me repeat, outline is the outline border. So in here it asks me apply a border. Inside is a single line, and outline is a double line. So single line for the inside. So this is the single line, and I will click then. So first you click the style, you choose the style of the border, then you click inside. And as you can see, this is a preview window. It shows you how the border will looks like. Okay, now I specified the inside, but what about the outline? The outline, it asks me here, it is double line. Double line, I think this is the double line. You click that style. After you click that style, then you click the outline. So now I form the border. The outline will be double line, and the inside will be single line. So when you click OK now, and you click outside, as you can see now, I have a border outline, and if I just zoom it, maybe you can see more. As you can see, it's double line, but the one inside between the cells is a single line. So this is the way you apply a border. So please, I advise you to go back to the video and watch it again, so that if you couldn't, you will have this video in the YouTube channel, so you can refer to it in the future. So this is the way we apply a border to a table. Now, after I put a border to the table, if I print this worksheet or workbook, it will appear in the printing in the paper. So let me now save. I hope this is clear. Let us continue. Okay, I think we finished applying number 8. Okay. Now 9, align the text in the first row to be horizontally and vertically in center. So what we mean by this? Now this is the first row. As you can see, the student marks, it is in the center but horizontally, but it's not in the center vertically. So if you want to make it also vertically, so that it is in the middle of this big square, you have to make this alignment not only horizontally but also vertically. So this is what we refer to here, to make it horizontally and vertically center. So how do we do this? Very simple. Now you have here on the alignment section, after you click the cell, here we have left. This is the for the horizontal alignment. We have left, center, and right. So first I will click center horizontally, and the top one here, this is for the vertical alignment. So we have here top align, we have middle align, and we have bottom align. So I will click the middle align. As you can see now, the student marks are horizontally and vertically aligned. So make sure that these two buttons, as you can see, even the color, this means they are active. Okay, so for example, if I make this horizontally, it is now vertically centered but not horizontally. So again, I will click this one to make it vertically and horizontally in the center. I hope that this is clear. Let me click save and let us continue. Now number 10, it asks me add a new column after the fourth column and name it midterm as shown. So I have a column here, I have to add it, as it asks me add a new column after the fourth. So what is the fourth column? I have column A, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. So it asks me to add a column after this column, after the fourth. Then I will call it name, and then I will enter these numbers inside it. So how do we add columns? Now if I again, as we did for the row, if I click the D, which is the fourth column, if I click that title D and I click insert, it will insert a column, but it will insert it before the fourth column. But the question here asks me after the fourth column. So in this case I will click E, because E is the fifth column. When I click right click E, sorry, when I right click and insert, it will insert a column before column E, which is after the column D, which is the fourth column. And this is what it asked me here. It is asked me in the exercise, add a new column after the fourth column. So you will not right click the fourth column, you will right click the fifth column, then you click insert. As you can see, it add a new column which is after the fourth column, which is in our case it is D. Then it asks me to give it a name here, midterm. I will type it, and I will type these numbers that it give me. So I have here 15, then click 14, then 19, then 10, then 17. I think we have what also 79, and the last one here 12. Click outside. I think it's okay. Yeah. So this is the way we add the midterm column. So now the student, they have a quiz 1, lab work 1, midterm, quiz 2, lab work 2, and final, and so on. And let me now save. So this is the way you add a row, a column. Now let's move to the exercise. In exercise 11, it asks us to add a new row now, not a column, row. So it asks me here to add a new row before Khalid row. So what is Khalid? This is Khalid. So it want a new row before Khalid. So in this case, I go to the Khalid and I right click number 6, because Khalid is in row number 6. When I click it, right click, then I will click insert. So when I click insert, as we did in the row number 1, it will add a new row before Khalid row. So I click that one. As you can see, it add a new row, and I have to type this data. So let me just go to this cell and I start typing this. I will start typing this data, 3, 5, 7, and the name of the student, Saud, and he got 8 in quiz 1, 13 in the lab work, 15 in the midterm, 6 in the quiz 2, and 14 and 24. Excellent. So we add Saud here to the table as per the instruction 11. So I click here, save. Let us continue. Now it is the time 12. Calculate the total mark for all the student. Discuss with your instructor the different way to do calculation. Excellent. Now it asks me to do calculation for the students. As you can see, this data, I have the name of the student in column B, Ahmed for example. I have his mark 6, 12, 15, 3, 12, 20, and the same thing for Ali, the same thing for Saleh. Now this is now the power of the Excel. It helps us to do the calculations. So normally, let me tell you this, gentlemen. Normally we give the Excel some data and we expect from the Excel to give us the feedback. So in our case, we give the Excel the names of the student, their IDs and the marks. Now we want the Excel to help us to do the calculation, the heavy lifting. For example, the total, the average, this and that. So it's a two-way. You provided a data, and then we want the Excel to help us in doing some complex calculation. In our case, it is a very simple. It's just addition, but this gives you an example how Excel help us, especially in engineers in different disciplines actually, to do some very complex calculation. Now this is an example. I want the Excel, instead of I calculate, I want the Excel to calculate the total for Ahmed and for Ali and for Saleh and put the mark here, the total. So the question is, how do we do this? Now we have to write what we refer to it as a formula, in Arabic معادلات. So first you start with Ahmed. So I will start with Ahmed. I want his total to be in this cell. Can you tell me what's the address of this cell? It is I3, yeah? So I will click, this is the first step. I click I3 for Ahmed. Now I want to type a formula. Now take it as a rule. When you want to do calculation or you want to type formula, normally any formula start with the equal sign. So I have to click equal. I have to press equal in my keyboard. So this equal means you are telling the Excel that, please Excel, stand up. I want you to do some calculation for me. So Excel, he is ready. He is more than happy to help you. So this equal mean you are about to start entering the formula. Of course, now there is no formula, so Excel cannot do anything. Now we have to write the formula. So there are different ways to write formulas. Let us start with the simple one. Now, as you can see, I want to calculate the total for Ahmed. Now, where is Ahmed marks? They are here. Quiz 1, 6, and lab work 1, 12, midterm 15, quiz 2, 3, lab work 2, and final is 20. So these are his marks. So, and these marks, in which cells? For example, 6, in which cell? It is in C3. So I write here C3, then plus in the keyboard. Now I want to type the lab work mark, which is in which cell? This mark 12. It is on D and it's in row 3. So plus D3, and I will continue. Plus I will add the midterm. The midterm 15, in which cell? It is in E3. So I will write here E3. As you can see, as I type, it will highlight them in different colors here. So you see, this is the way Microsoft show the formulas. So now I will continue. I will add also a quiz 2. So for Ahmed, where is his mark for quiz 2? It is in which cell? It is in F3. So I will write here F3 and plus. Now we have the lab work for Ahmed, lab work 2, 12, which is in G3. I will write G3. And now I think we reach the final. The final for Ahmed, it is on, so this 20. What is in which cell? What's the address of this cell? It is H3. As you can see now, I think the formula is clear and now it's complete. So we start with equal, then you start typing the cell addresses in which Ahmed marks is inside. Now once you finish, you just simply press enter. You see my Excel automatically it add all these marks and it give me the total here. So this is the powerful of the Excel. Now let us do the same thing for Ali. You may ask me, should we do the same thing for Ali? It will be very time consuming, especially if we have a large number of students. Yes, you are right. That's why Microsoft Excel, it has a very powerful feature now. You simply calculate for the first student. Then there is a very powerful feature in Excel. I can come to this cell which has the total for Ahmed, and I want you please to pay attention here. When I move the mouse on the lower hand side here, this one, as you can see, the mouse become different, the pointer, it become a black plus sign. If I move it again here, it become white and a cross. So no, I want this, you know, this angle of the cell, and now it is black plus. So as you can see, when your mouse pointer in this shape, you just click and keep your mouse pressed, and you drag till you reach the last student, and then you release the mouse. Excel automatically it will calculate all the marks for you. So you don't need to write the formula for Ali, for Saleh, for Saud. No, you just type the formula for the first student, and you make sure that it's okay. Then you come with your mouse to the lower hand side of this cell on the right hand side, the lower hand side, okay? And when the mouse is like this, you simply click and then you drag. Then you release your mouse. As you can see, Excel automatically create the total for us. So this is how powerful is the Excel. So imagine if you have 100 to 1000 students. Very simple. You just type the formula for the first student here, and then you just drag and all this and release your mouse, and it will calculate the marks for you automatically. I believe this is a clear case. Now let me just show you another way to do this calculation. So I will delete this one. I will delete this one, and I will give you another easy way. We have in Excel what we call functions. We use them in the formulas. We will come across with many functions in Excel, but we will start with a very simple function. It's called sum. Sum stands for summation. So it will add numbers and it will give you the result. So let me show you how do we use functions inside the formulas. So again, we will start with Ahmed. I click first, you click here in this cell. Now why did I click in this cell? Because I want the total for Ahmed to be in this cell. So this is the first step. You click the cell where you want the total or the result to be. So this is the first step. I click that one, and again, since I will write formula, I will just, as we agree, any formula start with equal. But this time I will not use my the first way is to write C3 plus D3 plus E3. No, I have a very simple function and very useful. It's called sum. So I will write here sum. As you can see, Microsoft give you many names, because I have many functions with the sum, start with the name of the sum. But I will continue. Then you type the parentheses here. You open the parentheses in the keyboard. Now I have to tell this function the first cell I want to start adding the number. So the first number I want to add for Ahmed, it is in C3. And the last number for Ahmed, it is in the final, it is in H3. So I will add, this is the range. So I will type here C3, then 2 column mark, this column mark, and then I will write H3. Then I close the parenthesis. Now as you can see here, this is the function equal sum, and you open parentheses and you put the address of the first cell, which is C3, you see this one, then 2 dots, and then you type the address of the last cell, which is H3, and you close the parentheses. So this is the way the sum works. Now what does this mean? This means that, please Excel, I want you to sum or to add all the values which are between C3 and H3. You get the point? So now if I press enter, it will start adding the number starting from C3 up to H3. So this is the way we tell Excel, and we call this the range. So it is the range from C3 to H3. So as you can see, this is the way we write the formula. Now I will press enter. You see it gives me the result. Again, I don't need to do this for Ali, again, because I can go back to Ahmed total mark, and again I will come with the mouse here in the lower hand side, in the right hand side here lower, and then I drag my mouse and I can calculate for all students, and simply I release my mouse now. As you can see, all of a sudden it calculates the total for all the students. I hope this is clear for you, and we will come with the formulas and functions in the coming exercises. Now many students ask me, teacher, how do we know if these numbers are calculated or simply type it by the in the keyboard? For example, how do we know that these we type these numbers? Yeah, we type it from the keyboard, but these numbers we didn't type it. It is calculated by Excel. So the answer for this, if I click any number that I type it myself, and if I look here, I will see the same value. For example, I click 15 here it shows me 15. This means that I type this number by the keyboard. I type it myself. If I click here in this cell, you see it shows me here 10. This means it is I type this 10. It's not calculated by Excel. If I click, for example, this one, again this is 8 and this is 8. This means that this number is typed by the end user. Now if I click Saud, again it will show here Saud. This means that I type Saud by the keyboard. It's not calculated. But look here what happened. If I click in, for example, in this number 79 or 68, what do you think will appear here? We call this, by the way, the formula bar. So let me show you this. If I click, for example, 68, you see it didn't show here 68. It shows the formula. So this means that this number is not typed by the end user by the keyboard, but this number is calculated by Excel. The same thing if I click here, again it shows me a formula. But if I click here or here, it shows me the number. So this is how we distinguish between the data that you input and the data that is calculated by Excel. I hope this is clear. Let me just click save and let us continue. I think we did this. Of course, there are, by the way, there are other ways. Many students, ask me, teacher, we learn in our high school or in some training session that we can do others. Yes, we will. There are many ways. So if you know how to do other ways, that's okay, as far as the results are correct. And we will see some of these methods, inshallah, in the coming videos. Okay, let us continue now. I think we are now, let me just align all the numbers to the centers. Now 13. So this is simple. Now these are the numbers. As you can see, they are left right aligned, but he wanted center. Now one more note here. If you notice, please, when we type in Excel, when we type numbers, automatically they are right aligned. So you see it is on the right side. But text like Ahmed, names, they are by default they are left aligned. So this is just for your information. Now it asks me to center all the numbers, so I will select. I will start from here, from 6. I will select, drag and select all the numbers. then I can click this one. This is the center align, and this is the vertical align, so they are vertically aligned. And again I will select these numbers, and again I will do the same thing because it asked me to center all the numbers. So now all the numbers are centered. Okay, let us continue. Let me just see here what we have. Okay, okay, now number 14, type your first name, last name, your ID, and section number at the end of the table. Okay, then it asked me to save the changes to the workbook. Excellent. So I come here, I will just drag. So it asked me here, so in this case I come to the end of the table. Here you can write student name, and you type here, you just type here Akram Suleiman, and here student ID. I will just make it, sorry, this one, ID I think 31900 and section number 3. So now you type your name, your ID, whatever it asks you, then I will simply save. So now I think our exercise is ready and it is finished, and you can submit this to your teacher. I hope by the end of this exercise it was very interesting for you. I hope you learn many new features, and I am sure you learn. And please, if you couldn't get something, please replay this video and watch it again, and I want you to practice again. I will put you in the description another homework which is similar to this, so that you can practice and practice. So this is the way to master the Excel skills. Inshallah, I hope I will see you in the next video, exercise number 2. Till that time, please stay safe.